Hi there, welcome to another episode of Enabling Tomorrow. I'm Tim Metz, I'm your host for today, and I'm here with Valeriy Skachko, who is a prolific KaiOS app developer. I think we're going to talk about that. He has already done more than 30 apps for the KaiOS platform. But also, Valeriy, you have a very interesting background. You were a teacher before, then you went into app development. So I really look forward to talking about how that transition came about, and then how you got into app development and how it is to develop for KaiOS. Before we get into that, for everybody who's watching, if you like these videos, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel so you will get notifications. And of course, we're also on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn, where you can follow us and get updates. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Welcome, Valeriy. Thanks for joining. Really excited to talk today. And before we get into everything about app development, I wanted to start with, what you were doing before, because you were a university teacher. So I'd love to hear what you were teaching, how did you become a teacher, and then how you went from there to actually becoming an app developer.
Hi, team. Hi, viewers, YouTube. Yes, I was 10 years ago. I was a teacher and more. It was a very good job. I like to study students, teach students computer science. Like 8 years ago, my boss called me and say to me, Valeriy, let's you began to learn our students to mobile development. I say, I don't know mobile development. At this moment, I don't work with devices. He said, take your time and learn it. So I began to learn how to create apps for very simple phones, for Java ME, Java Micro Edition platform, for simple dumb phones like old Motorola, Samsung.
Yeah.
This was very interesting, and I began to learn my students to create this application. So I learned myself, and later I learned teach students to create application for dumb phones.
Yeah.
All was good. I work well good, but 6 years ago, maybe you read at news, in east of Ukraine began war.
Yeah.
I work in Luhansk National University that was in east of Ukraine. So I will need to move on. I took my family, my wife, my daughter, and we moved to another part of Ukraine on the west part.
Okay.
I come to new city. What I need to do? I think maybe I can earn money by freelance, and I began to create application for this phones for myself, for like a little job.
And was that still for kind of dumb phones, or did you then start to make applications for smartphones?
No, only dumb phones. I create for dumb phones, and it will very interesting time, because I very like this phones. I want to create for this simple phone something big. Example, I create a noise detector for Samsung dumb phones. It was very interesting applications. Time was very good, but 5 years ago, no ads network will work with these devices. All say it's all devices. We will not work with this.
And how did they distribute the apps? Because they don't have an app store, right? So how did you who get the apps and how?
Many years ago was a Nokia Ovi store. I distribute applications, and now it present Opera mobile store. Now it names Bimobi mobile store. It's one place with huge application markets when I can still upload applications on Java ME. But they say to me that in this year they close, and this markets. So
Okay.
it's last year when these applications will be available. But and now and today I have 2,000-3,000 downloads per day for this simple phones.
Oh, really? Still today?
Still today, but I nothing received from this.
And in which countries is is that global? Is it in Ukraine or is
global,
it
global?
Okay.
Most users in Indonesia, India, Pakistan. So in
Wow.
these countries, but these applications don't give me anything because they don't have ads. No
Yeah.
ads.
And
So it's
before so you were in the university, were you then, I assume you were a computer programmer, right? Because you were teaching computer science.
yes.
So did you so what were you programming before programming for mobile, and how was the transition? Was it difficult or
Before mobile, I developed for desktop applications, and I began create application for DOS operating systems.
Uh-huh.
It was I remember I create an application text DOS shell. It was like a window, but all icons menu was on ACCI graphics.
And which year is this?
It's
Roughly?
oh, 15, 16 years ago.
Okay. And how did you learn that? Did you learn that yourself, or how did you become a professor and you studied computer science? Or
I was students in this university. I 5 years was students, and on last year of my teaching, I start working as teacher on another school.
Yeah.
After that, I come back to university, and my future boss, Mahilny Gennady Anatolievich, come to me and said, "You want work on with my on my cathedra on with
his
work
department?
with
His
department."
yeah.
Yes. I say yes. I will be like to work with you, and I began to work, and it was very interesting. 8 years, very nice university. I said that I not work anymore in this university, no, because Luhansk now is not part of Ukraine officially, so it little problems to come back.
Yeah. And so now you're exclusively doing development for mobile, for mobile phones.
I very like to develop for dumb phones. And 2 years ago, I read on news that some banana phone, I don't know what it was, working on some operating system, KaiOS. And I read about this system, read about this phone, and I understand it's that I want. I want to create applications for dumb phones, but this application is more powerful that I can create for not smart feature phones.
For the real dumb phone. Yeah.
Not real dumb phones. Yes. Yeah. And I began to read documentations, try to create first applications. First application I create 2 or 3 months. It was very large time. I don't have device on my hand. I only use a simulator. Sometimes I don't understand what I'm doing and how it's working. I began to send emails to KaiOS support, and in 1 or 2 months, Hardship was answered to my mail and helped me to publish first applications. And when first 1, 2, 3 applications was published, I understand that create the application is very funny and interesting. It was exciting to create powerful application that can work on small fonts with small screen, little resolutions, but it's very powerful application that can use internet, it can send notifications, it can store some files, and this was very interesting.
Yeah, and so how did you? Because that's also the reason why why we invited you to Enabling Tomorrow, because you make quite I would say serious or purposeful applications that not just games are nice, it's for entertainment, but you focus more on you have an app related to the COVID pandemic, you have something for people to train their math, you have a period tracker. So these are all quite meaningful apps. So how do you come up with these ideas, and why do you focus on these type of apps?
It's a very interesting questions. Why I create these applications? I took phone and I think what I want from this phone, what I want to use it. Games, it's good, but games it's very mass market, so it's many applications. So it's, and I do think, what example, if I use my phone, what I want, example, I want to listen radio, but radio not FM, online radio. Okay, I create this application. Now I have wife. Wife tell me maybe it will be good to have period tracker. And okay, yes, I create these applications and continue. So I thinking about example. One times I was in airport and think what code of airport I need to find on table. And I create application when you can enter three symbols of airport, it will show a name of airport or its locations. So okay, this application I create from my life. I think what will be useful for me, what will be I use, and I think this will be useful for other users. Sometimes I read comments on Facebook on your page or on LinkedIn. Users write one time. User write will be good to have GPS location application, so I can press button and see when where I am and save this data in phone. So after that comments, I create applications where I am. And this application use GPS and store data of locations of current users.
Nice. So you're really driven by what you need and what you hear from other users, what they need on the phone. That's great. Yes. So what about the Be Safe app? How did you get a lot of response on it, and how did you put that together? How long did it take? When did you decide to build it? After 2 months when COVID came to Europe and Ukraine, I think that it's very big problem on all peoples of world. Many people don't know how to prevent to be ill from this virus. So I think I create applications. I think what information I need to put in this. I talking with KaiOS team, and we decide to create it's not monetization app, but I will use applications from WHO, the World Health
Organizations. Yes. So I took information from this site. It was very useful. So I think many users who don't have internet access can use this application to prevent problems that can be if don't wash hands and don't wearing masks in outside the house. So I think this application is very useful, and as I know, it was second from top application downloaded from KaiOS Store. On first it's WhatsApp actually, and second was Be Safe. So I think this application is very good. It non-monetizations. I don't receive any money from this application. It's just for people. I think it will be useful in this time. This application.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. And does it need to keep being updated, or it kind of updates the information automatically from the WHO, or how does it work?
At this moment, it's only static applications. It's not updated. But if new informations come on site, I will put it in application and I will update it on the store. So it's on manual mode.
Okay. And so how many apps have you developed now?
31 application I create as freelancer,
Yeah.
and create 6 applications, already create six applications. It's outsourcing projects. It's like Rodicate Lite. It's a very popular application in Nigeria. It's an educational app. It was a hard application. I took 2 months to create this. Rodicate team has very large base of lessons, classes, and it's very interesting was to see this information. Later I create some outsourcing projects. It's 2 on Arabic language. It was Arabic podcast applications, Arabic radio, and Arabic news. One application was created on Swahili. It's some quiz game on Swahili. And last application, I don't remember what it was. But at this moment, I work on 2 new projects on outsourcing. It's very large projects. One is this is for Pakistan. It will be interesting application, but it will be available only on Pakistan, so it not will be available on world. And I began to work with one regreening app for Tanzania. It will be very useful app for African users. It will start in Tanzania and later it will be available in other countries. But these applications, I think, not early as September will be, because I only start creating this app. But
so it's really from everywhere. No, there's a lot of different countries, a lot of different.
Yes, it's very interesting because I received email example from Amsterdam. One email I received from Tanzania, second from Nigeria, one from Pakistan. It's this very interesting because very many people in the world began to work with KaiOS system. They took this phone and think, wow, it will be cool if my application will be work on this smart feature phones. And this is very interesting because in last year it was little sad because good application, good platform, good phones, good system, but not many applications. In this year, I see that applications is more and more people is want to put some of ideas in applications that will be available for dumb phones. They understand that system is growing and they see the potential of these systems, and it's very good because when I first time see KaiOS system, I see, wow, it's cool system and its system has huge potential for a world.
Yeah, wow, that's great. And so let's zoom out a little bit more generally to software development. What do you like about being a software developer, and maybe also what is challenging about doing software development?
Software development is interesting, but sometimes it's hard to find why this thing's not working. Example, create a few days ago I create applications and took stream from camera, so camera and stream on screen, and I see on screen green and black-white images, and I think what I do wrong. I began to learn documentations, find some, and later I find this was an issue on software, and later yesterday I see that new patch is fixing it, and now that stream is working fine. So sometimes need to think do it my issue or it's issue of system or it issue of a current device example.
Yeah.
Sometimes more easy create application. I create applications, began to work, and it's not working. Thinking, maybe something I don't understand. And 1 second, I understand that I don't put dot in numbers and all. So application work, but it work not right. So at this moment, software development is more easy. It's in last year, very many documentations. Now in developer portal and developer KaiOS.com, I see many documentations. Very many documentations is in MDN networks, Discord channels, Reddit forums. So now it's more easy to create application because you see examples, you see documentations. Now it's not hard, but not easy.
And what about so how does, because you're basically your own boss, right? So how does your day look like? What time do you work? What time you sleep? Like, what are you coding the whole day or at night? What does a normal day look like?
At night I sleep.
Okay.
My day, it's not specific. I get up at morning, and if at this moment I don't need to do anything, I began to working. Then later, all day I took with my family. I walking with my dog, and on evening I begin to work again to midnight. So 6-7 hours per day I working on development. 2-3 hours and morning and 4 hours and evening.
Okay. And what do you think? What is because not, you know, you have your own experience, but also you were teaching students programming, right? Like, what do you think are the skills or the characteristics necessary for somebody to be a good programmer or a good developer? Like, which type of people pick it up easily, or what's important to become a good programmer?
To be a good programmer, no, I think main person need to know that if person want to create application, he can create application. So if you think, oh, it's very hard, I can do this, you not will be a good programmer. You need to think, oh, it's hard applications, I need more time, but I create these applications. So need to be more
determined to learn by
yes,
yourself.
need to learn by self. Yes, need to find the documentation, need to be interested in this what you're doing, because create application just for creating, it's not interesting. Need create application for someone. If you create applications for someone, you think, oh, it will be good applications, I will create these applications very good. I will find all issues in applications, and it will be exciting applications. So it user will think like this, it will be good application. Plus it need to every time find new informations to grow, to read what new, what how to create this app for more faster working. Example, if you create applications where that use 10 if, maybe it's something make more compact code. So need to grow by self, so finding more information and trying to create more useful applications and more quality applications.
Yeah. And then how do you, especially if you're a freelance, I mean, if you work at a company, it's different, but if you're a freelance developer, how do you find work, and what did you do in the beginning when you moved? So you moved from East Ukraine to West, and you left your job, and then how did you find some paying jobs in the beginning when you made that transition? It's quite a big step.
Yes, it was not easy. I registered on many sites as freelancer.com, Upwork, fl.ru. It's a freelancer sites, and I began to find applications that I can create.
But there's many people on those. I've also been on those websites sometimes, and there's hundreds or thousands of developers, right? So how do you stand out? Is it just by being cheap, or how do you convince people to work with you, especially in the beginning when you have no
At the beginning,
portfolio?
yes, it was very cheap applications. I create applications, hard applications for cheap money.
Yeah.
It was not easy. Later example, in this year, it's more easy because I create a little site, valesios.github.io. When I put my applications that I create in KaiOS, so many users see that I a quality developer, so they ask me directly or from freelance. And at this moment, KaiOS developers not many, so it's not a big challenge to find this KaiOS developer because it's not many. So at this moment, I little popular from developers because it's not many developers that can create application for KaiOS. I think in next year it will be more developers. It will be good because if more developers, more apps, then more quality apps will be on top. It will be good.
So what would be your recommendation for somebody who wants to start developing? I mean, either for KaiOS or in general, like somebody who's new to, they say, wow, I would love to be an app developer. What should they do? Study hard by themselves, or what other tips?
Yes, first of all, study hard by myself. You need to find first what type of applications you want to create. You want to create web applications, you want to create for KaiOS or your server applications. So you need to choose language, what you will use. Example, my first language was Java, SE. It was my first language. Second was Java micro editions, and now I use JavaScript. So you need to choose language and begin to learn it. So you need to start create applications, find how to make these applications work best, and don't be afraid if something will not working, because if something not working, it's normal. No one can create applications that will be work good from first time. But you need to continue to work to make it work better and better.
Yeah.
So took language and began to create application on this language, and more application, more quality, and growing by itself.
Okay. That's great. We have actually 2 minutes left. I just have I have two more questions. One is what is your, do you have a dream? Do you have what do you, in a few years, or maybe, you know, what do you want to be doing, or you have a dream to share?
I have one little dream. Maybe it will be good. I work as freelancer, but I want to work in company, and I will be very exciting if I can work on KaiOS company.
Okay.
It's a part of
yeah.
Of,
Okay, that's good. That's good to know, and it's good to mention here. And the other thing I would like to ask is, if people want to follow you or know more about you, where should they go? Is that you on social media or your website, or anything you would like to share?
You can go to my site, valesios.github.io, and you will see links on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Telegram. You can subscribe on any of these channels. So,
okay, we'll make sure to put it in the description below, also in YouTube and on our blog. So yeah, thanks so much, Valeriy, for joining today, and recommend everybody to follow you, because I'm sure a lot more interesting KaiOS apps are gonna come out. And if you're watching at home, please, if you like it, don't forget to subscribe. We'll have new videos every week. And that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks again for joining us, Valeriy, and see you.
Thank you for inviting for conversations. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much. All right.
Have a
Bye-bye.
nice day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.